2 sessions ago, we read a letter from a woman who complained that she was always attracting the same kind of men into her life, men who used her. All her boyfriends and husbands were men who moved in with her and then used her for money, sex, and whatever else they could get out of her. I suggested to her that we are all attracted to a certain combination or soup, if you like, of imitation love. And we in turn attract people to us who like the particular soup of imitation love that we have to offer. Almost all relationships are based on a trade of imitation love. This woman was advertising, almost entirely unconsciously to men, that she was willing to be used for sex, money, whatever, in exchange for a little acceptance and sense of worth. Now, back to her. In our last session, I suggested that you are probably baffled right then about 2 things. How do I know all this about you from a single letter? And second, how exactly do you advertise this message to men, since obviously you don't wear a literal billboard on your head? How are men picking up on this from you? First, how can I know all this about you? That you tell men that you're willing to be used, for example. Easy. The proof is in the results. Women who are not willing to be used simply do not attract users. It doesn't happen, period. Users, after all, are looking for people who are willing to be used. They develop almost antennae that are finely attuned for their prey. They can't afford to waste their time with people who would resist being used. It is therefore an indisputable fact that you are doing something to advertise your availability for being used. Now, how are you doing that? You do it in many ways, and they're almost all unconscious. When a man meets you, you don't quite look him in the eyes. You look down or away, indicating to him that you feel less than worthy as a potential partner. When he suggests things to do, you are more than willing to do whatever he suggests because you are so eager for his companionship. You offer to do more than your share of everything, which could be interpreted as loving on your part, but you do it with an air of desperation and eagerness. Then, when he is unkind or inconsiderate, you don't speak up. You don't tell him what behavior you won't tolerate from another human being. In so many ways, you tell a man who is looking for someone to use that you are very available. And, with little exaggeration, these men can pick up on your signals from miles away. In the beginning of your relationship with these men, things seem to go pretty well. In the beginning, you don't mind giving and giving because you're getting some praise and some sense of worth, and those are intoxicating to you. But then the inevitable happens. Those feelings which you've had to buy with your behavior and are therefore not real love, they wear off. And then you have to give more and more to get the same feelings. The price for getting praise and power and a sense of worth for yourself gets higher and higher, eventually to the point where you completely sell your soul to whatever man you're with. And then one day, you come to a terrible realization that you have given everything, and your man is still not satisfied, and he's no longer willing to give you the praise and acceptance that you crave. Now you are really stuck. Now you've been completely used up, and in return, you have nothing. What a terrible day that is. That's when the blaming starts, and the anger, and eventually you break up. So, what can you do here? What can you do to change this horrible pattern in your life? A lot. And we'll talk about that in our next session.